whatever sentence get, they either spend it at the prison or somehow.
Right.
If they are charged a fine, they pay the fine now. But they will be arrested once they are caught.
Right. That's for the firearms. But what about those who walk around with the scissors and so on?
They will be arrested also.
Those are offensive
weapons. Cutlasses, yeah. Scissors, yeah.
Sadly, some of the persons coming into Kingston are not sensible persons. What I mean, let me specify. Some of these persons were working with guns and knives and cutlasses. Even they know that the police would be out on the street in numbers looking for them, and they still working with them. That constitute that these persons are not sensible criminals. So that is how I look at it. If you want St. Vincent to be safe, if you want to come into Kingston and enjoy yourself, all fine. Police is all for that. We are all for you to come and enjoy yourself. Because we have persons coming into our country, visitors coming into our country to enjoy themselves. We are highlighting St. Vincent as the hottest carnival in the Caribbean. Why can't we enjoy ourselves, allowing more persons to come, thus inviting more finances to come, thus filling our pockets, right? So if you're a criminal, why would you want to allow St. Vincent to go down that drain?
They're probably not thinking about all of that. Listen, guys and ladies, walk to the cooler with some drinks and sell them instead of a weapon. You make more money that way.
I agree.
Yeah. So apart from the weapons, I know that from my experience, I've gone to shows and you would have your officers at the entrances searching. Male officer searching male, you get a little, and then female.
A little frisk.
A little something. Hey, okay, search my bag, no problem. But outside of that, robberies, what are some of the things that people can do to protect themselves at Carnival time?
Okay. Do not expose your money. Avoid wearing jewelry because someone could just pass, grab your chain, or hold you up and take it. And try avoid going in places where there are not people frequenting. Like lonely areas, avoid it. That would help to ease some of the robberies in the country.
And that would go along with where you park your vehicle. Is that how big of an issue theft of vehicle parts and break-ins?
Sometimes you might have your vehicle number 000. Somebody might be monitoring it. You have a nice set in it. So you park that somewhere where it is lonely. Someone will target your vehicle and say, well, I'm looking for this all the time. When it's broken. Or somebody just mischievously damage your vehicle. It happens around this time.
Do the police put a little bit of extra into safeguarding vehicles as well for events?
Yes, especially around Victoria Park. The police patrols around the area and the parking lot opposite the St. Joseph Convent.
Anglican Church parking lot, right?
The police patrol there also. Well, they are stationary there.
I would add that any major event, whether it is in Kingston or outside of Kingston, once there's a major event and there's a parking lot, or even if sometimes the vehicles are parked on the street, you'd normally have police officers patrolling that area where vehicles are parked. So that could have an eye out for persons who want to break these vehicles. So not just in Kingston, yes, primarily Kingston, but for example, if there's a function in Mespo, and based on where the vehicles are parked, we'll also have officers patrolling that area, traffic officers, or sometimes maybe the officers from SSUR or your drug squad.
Even the district itself.
District
station,
yes.
Yeah.
I'm parking it right in front of the police station. Safest place. But I have to get there first.
Everybody wants to be safe around this time.
I know. But while it is good and your chances of not being targeted are higher, the closer you are to like a street light, more people, the officers. I actually had an experience where the vehicle was parked in a perceived to be safe place, and somebody just come and go with the I forget what they call it, the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
The mirror right next to the driver, that mirror there. gone with it, and there were officers like right there. So some of these guys, they don't really care.
It could be that the police, they were monitoring the movement of the police. So by the police moving along, like patrolling,
Right.
you go and like take it. It happens.
Regrettably. So many things that you have to do to safeguard yourself and your property, especially at Carnival time. Do you get a lot of reports of like stolen cellular phones at Carnival time?
Sometimes because everybody partying, you might have your phone in your back pocket. Somebody pass and just pull it out and disappear.
Mm-hmm.
But usually not in excess.
Okay. All right. Now the time is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock. If you want to share a comment or a question, you can do so via the WhatsApp. It's 457-9994. And if you also want to call 457-9997, so you raise your hand there. Oh, something we hear from time to time. We're talking about crime-free Carnival, our priority. Children. You would hear on the PA system, such and such child is backstage. I want to ask what can be done, but it's so obvious what can be done and should be done. But I'm gonna let you answer it anyways. What should parents do? Appeal to parents at this time.
Keep their children close. Talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
If don't care if you cannot control, get someone else to help you with them.
Mm-hmm.
Keep by hands. About 2 years ago, I saw a lady. I think it was a bungee cord, they call it.
Oh.
She had it around her waist and had the child attached to her. So anyway she turned, the child was with her.
How old was the child? Do you remember?
The child was about 4 or 5 years old. A little guy, a child, a boy.
Uh-huh.
And the mother had him. So if she partying, and he was there with her also. So I say, that's a good way. Because she would feel if there's a slack, that means he's not around. So I just laugh.
He can't go very far.
She improvised.
Well, I say,
Wow.
As much as possible, as much as practicable, leave the kids at home. I know where we jump in Carnival, you want to bring the kids. That's understandable. But there are some functions that you see, kids running about that should not be running about. These shows are for adults, and you find kids all over the place, and then you hear the PA system announcing, come and look for this kid, XYZ. That should not be the case. In my opinion, that is sadly poor parenting. If they are adult shows, kids should not be a part of these adult shows. So leave them at home, leave somebody to take care of them. If you can't come to Carnival to enjoy yourself because you have your kids to take care of, still and take care of the kids. I might sound harsh, but that is how I see it.
All right. Two different pieces of advice here. If it's not a child-friendly show, I remember last year that was a big issue. I think a photo or video circulating with the mother holding her child in one of those well-known fetes. And there was a lot of debate concerning that. Why you don't take your child home? It's a little toddler. But so parents and maybe guardians as well, be minded of that. The suggestion you made with the cord or leash, I don't know if leash is the correct term for it. Culturally, it's something you see on like television or on social media. I have not seen it. I have not seen it myself.
I saw it
here
about 2 or 3 years ago. I
Yeah,
was standing right in front of Central Police Station.
yeah,
The lady up. I say, fair enough. She improvised, keeping the child safe.
yeah.
You know.
That might take a while for Vincentians to come around to that idea. They might feel like they're dragging an animal.
No, but it's keeping your child to you.
I know. I understand where it's coming from. All right. So we're going to take a stop right now. We normally take a break at 8:30. It's 8:28. And when we come back, we continue. Of course, you can share your comments on the live at WFM at 99 SVG. And of course, via WhatsApp, 457-9997. If you don't have the number in your phone already, put the 784 in front of it. Or you can call us when we come back at 457-9997. We'll be right back.
Census 2023. They're counting you, they're counting me. Attention Vincentians. The 2023 Population and Housing Census is on. They're counting you, they're counting me. Census Day is June 15th, 2023. The data collection period runs from June 16th to September 15th, 2023. Your cooperation with the enumerators is vital. Do not turn them away. Give truthful information. The information collected will benefit the whole country. Remember, on this we must be united. Stand up and be counted. Stand up and be counted.
Let's get your laundry clean and fresh with the widest range of washing machines and dryers in SVG. At Singer, choose between our West Point and Speed Queen brands with an array of washing machines with payments starting as low as $92 per month. Your laundry room wouldn't be complete without a Whirlpool or Speed Queen electric or gas-operated dryer, saving your energy consumption. Also in stock is our West Point washer-dryer combo for only $136 per month. One machine that does the work of two. No need to change machines. Just toss in your laundry and forget about it. Whether your preference in machines is top loading or front loading, whether you want a 9 kilogram or a larger 15 kilogram washer, whether you're looking for a gas or electric dryer, we've got it all at Singer. Visit us today and get the washing machine and dryer that's perfect for you. Singer, your family company.
I was looking for a cough syrup, looking for a drug to help this pain here in my throat. I needed something fast to help me with my cold. Then I turned around and there you go. I went into the store and I found what I needed when I shouted
Super Health Pharmacy. We're located on Grenville Street, formerly Isles Boutique. Come in and check out our wide variety of over-the-counter prescriptions, medications, personal care products, and much more. Take advantage of our free delivery services, blood pressure, sugar, and cholesterol testing. Open Mondays to Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call or WhatsApp us at 497-8737 or 457-8737. Super Health Pharmacy. Your health is our priority.
and I found what I needed when I shouted Super Health.
Not all heroes wear capes. Celebrate her this Mother's Day at Quartz. Save up to 40% off selected furniture, appliances, and electronics. Get free accessories with selected purchases and much more. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and pay $0 for 30 days. And before you check out, don't forget to add extended warranty with our Quartz Super Shield product, which will protect your purchase for up to 4 years. Celebrate moms with us only at Quartz, bringing value home. Offer ends May 31st, 2023.
Lynch Caribbean Brokers is here to innovate how your insurance works for you. Here to design and deliver insurance solutions, proven solutions tailored to your business. Solutions from our global network of insurance experts, which all comes with an indigenous Vinci touch of excellence. We're more than just insurance brokers, SVG. We're your trusted risk advisors. Lynch Caribbean always has your back. Contact us today for insurance solutions, strategic risk advisory, and more. Call 453-3300, email info@lynchcaribbean.com, or visit our office at Beachmont, Kingstown.
Nothing else sounds as good as
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
All right, welcome back to Activated Mornings. Welcome back to Cop Chat. In studio this morning, we've got Superintendent of Police Benzil Samuel, who's the officer in charge of narcotics, and Superintendent of Police Mr. David Trumpet, officer in charge of the Rapid Response Unit. And today we're talking about a crime-free carnival, making it our priority. Before we head back into the discussion, just to let you know, the WhatsApp number is 457-9994. The number to call is 457-9997. If you have a question or a comment to share, of course, you can drop it on the live at WFM99 SVG. Facebook and YouTube. Before we head back in as well, the Central Water and Sewerage Authority, CWSA, would like to inform residents of Fairhall that their water supply will be disrupted on Thursday, June 1st, 2023, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This disruption is to accommodate work on the Fairhall Mainline Improvement Project. The CWSA regrets any inconvenience caused. Let's go back a bit to entering and leaving shows and the searches. Samuel.
Okay, so I just want to bring to our attention that the police has a major responsibility at major events. As an example, while you are entering the show, it is the responsibility of the police officers working there to search every person entering the show. If you're coming with your firearm, there is a police mobile station that is manned by the police officers there. The officers who are searching has a responsibility to escort persons with licensed firearms to that mobile station, and the firearms and ammunition will be handed over to the officers there. They will be kept in safe storage until you are ready to leave the show. Now, some persons would come in the show. I'm not just speaking about firearm holders, but ordinary persons would come to the show. They are searched, they enter the show, and for some reason they want to leave. They would go, they spend 10, 15, 5 minutes, 2 minutes away, and on their return, they would be making noise to say, well, I entered before, I was searched, and feel that they should not be searched. That cannot happen. We have a responsibility for the safety and security of every person patronizing the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So our responsibility is not to target any person, but to ensure that you are safe, the other person is safe, and everybody entering the show is safe. Also, we have a responsibility that if something major happens, we have to be directing persons where to go and these sort of things. And again, you have to rely on the police to direct you where to go, what to do, and we have to take safety as a major priority when it comes to these shows. And sometimes persons don't want to take safety. As an example, again, you have people pelting bottles because they're disgruntled with the outcome of an event or a competition of these certain things. So we are employing the persons who are selling not to sell drinks in glass bottles. You know, use glass, plastic glass, paper cups, these sort of things. Pour it over inside of those containers and selling those. Because at the end of the day, innocent persons, well, everybody would be innocent in the show, all right? The judges made their decision. I may not agree, you may not agree, but we do not have a right to be pelting the stage with bottles and stones and all these sort of things.
Right.
So these are things that we have to take into consideration. All of that is a part of safety and security of Carnival.
And the no glass bottle policy is in effect for all events,
All events.
not just throughout Carnival.
All events.
All events.
All events. So,
Inside and outside of Carnival.
all right, so that would include the persons who are at the bars,
Yes.
the big bars,
Yes.
and even the persons who are selling out of coolers.
Yes.
Because those bottles could become dangerous missiles. You know, somebody could bring a bottle, injure someone or something of that nature. So avoid selling in the bottles. Plastic cups, that would be fine.
Or even canned beverages.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, outside of you have your weapons that are confiscated when searched, what are some of the other items that persons should not be entering shows with?
As usual, we spoke about this before. We talk about the knives, we talk about the cutlasses. We're not going to the mountains. We're going to a show.
Mhm.
So we don't have a need to have a cutlass in the show. Knives, why are we walking with knives? What are we going to peel fruits or some sort of things? So we do not have a need for guns, knives, cutlasses, and these sort of things in the show. Scissors, lots of scissors are confiscated every year when it comes to Carnival and major events.
Mhm.
I do not know why they're working with so much things like that.
Mhm.
So these are some of the things, primary things that we confiscate yearly.
Right. So this doesn't really pertain to crime, but could I enter with like some alcohol in my purse? Some women like to walk with a little drink.
Well, the thing is that the promoters for these shows,
Mm.
they don't want you to walk with those things. So it depends on if there's a private function and the police is asked not to allow persons to enter with those drinks, then we have to abide by the promoter's request, right? These things. Another thing that is prominent, the big and the can.
Mm.
All right, we have persons spraying and you see the big fire. This is extremely dangerous. Can you imagine that is catching on the hair of some ladies? What could happen?
Yeah, probably that's what they want.
So we are asking persons to desist
Mhm.
from bringing those canisters that would, spray and these sort of things. I understand it look wonderful, but it is a fire hazard. It is unsafe for persons drawing themselves, and we do not want these things to happen.
Mhm. All right. So, comment or question. Let me go down here. Somebody's asking if it's illegal to walk around. I'm guessing this question is outside of Carnival and festivals. If it's illegal to walk around with a cutlass that is not in a protected case, and why is this not enforced?
Sometimes when someone see a cutlass exposed, fear comes in right away.
Mhm.
But it is better they walk with their cutlass in a sleeve, protect the blade,
Right.
and it looks much better and it's safer for
Mhm.
everyone.
Right. Right. Start worrying once you see that exposed. Like, where are they going?
Yeah.
What are they going
The
to do?
fear jumps one time.
Yeah. Somebody says, say thanks to the police service for their efforts. It is a calling, not a job. It takes a special kind of person to do that, like nursing and teaching. Is he correct? It's a calling, not a job.
It depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Okay, I'm asking you.
in my opinion, it is a calling.
Okay.
It is a calling, and it's a significant responsibility. And once we are called to this responsibility, we should be taking it very serious.
Yeah.
The lives of our people are dependent on us to keep the country safe. We all want to go to the beaches. We all want to go to the fetes, and we just want to go and hang out somewhere at moonlight. So our responsibility is to try as much as humanly possible, professionally possible, to try and keep citizens safe. So that calling is a significant responsibility on our part.
Okay. Somebody says there's a need for more plainclothes police at Carnival shows.
Plainclothes police are there, but if you do not know them,
Okay.
you just cannot recognize them.
All right.
They are always there in abundance.
Okay. All right, great. I know, so the private shows, they would also have their own security
Yeah.
at these shows as well. All right. Bottle policy or so spraying violence issues during rural carnivals. Rural carnivals. What should we address specifically to rural carnivals? What's different?
Well, there's a difference. All that we spoke about, the no battle policy, the police search for all the weapons also.
Mhm.
So this is from taking those things with you.
Mhm.
Leave your weapons at home and just go and enjoy yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Another issue, the sale of alcoholic beverages to minors. How do we deal with that?
Once the perpetrator is caught, they will be dealt with because you cannot sell alcoholic beverage to persons under 18 years old.
Mhm.
So once they are caught, they will be dealt with.
Is there a requirement for vendors to ask for ID cards when purchasing, when selling?
Well, I don't think that's in the law,
No.
but for safety, to avoid the vendor getting in trouble, could ask.
I
That's
think
hard and fast rule with it.
I think there's a civic responsibility for the vendors. I know they want to live.
Intimate.
I know they want to live. I know they want to make money. But we have a civic responsibility, or they should have a civic responsibility to ensure that persons who are underage, they should not be selling to persons like that. If you suspect that person, by looking at them, that person is underage, why not ask for an ID card? You know, if we go down that road, we're protecting St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know, preventing a crime in Georgetown, or preventing something from happening in Georgetown, is preventing it from spilling over and getting to Chateaubriand, or getting to Union Island, or getting to Kingston. So doing something in one area, or turning a blind eye, as I would say, turning a blind eye to something that is happening here, could spill over and in a major way in a different area. So prevention is better than cure. You suspect that a person is underage, ask for an ID card, don't sell to that person.
If you cannot produce, don't sell.
Okay.
Once you're suspicious that he's underage, he or she is underage, do not sell. You cannot produce the ID card.
Okay. All right. Noted. Civic responsibility. However, in the absence of that, and we've seen it, that's why I asked the question. In the absence, there should be another entity or another force. I'm not saying force to mean police force, but another layer that comes in and says, okay, well, this needs to stop, and you need to be held accountable for that, because you should not. The companies would say 18 and older, please drink responsibly. They don't say 18 and older, please sell responsibly. All right, or charge or whatever the case may be. So in the absence of that, something else needs to be a bit stricter, because it's something that should not be happening. Another issue that has been talked about last year, and I'm bringing it back this year, as I have you guys in my presence, the admission of underage patrons to some of these privately promoted shows. Would it be anything? It has been talked about a lot last year. Is there anything in the pipeline for that to change, or for it to be addressed for 2023?
Well, Crystal, I do not know, because I don't go to shows, guarantee. I don't go, but if the organizers for shows are seeing this trend where underage persons are entering, I think it's their responsibility to deal with it urgently so it could be stopped. Because if I am policing a show, persons are inside, I am not going to say, how old are you? It should be the responsibility of the organizer to whoever is at the gate or door to see question persons when they arrive. And it should be dealt with from that point onward.
Okay. Samuel, see you look like you're thinking about saying something.
I am in total agreement with Superintendent Trumpet. I think also the police has a responsibility too. So if you see someone you know for certain is underage, or you suspect that that person is underage, you know, again, we're talking about mature shows, right? We could deal with it too, but again, as Trumpet said, the major responsibility promoters, as to say, you know, you're underage, it's not for you, that you should not be here, and then ask the police to assist in asking persons to be removed.
Took me back to a video that went viral last year where an officer actually intervened in a matter with a minor. So that's an example of what you're referring to there. Now, another question. I know sometimes shows end prematurely whenever fights break out. Is that a standard or a customer thing? Is that where the police comes in and say, okay, this show cannot continue? What is your duty if there's a fight or a second or a third and so on? What happens with fights and shows?
Well, for the safety of everyone, that's why the police stop the show, because we have 1 fight, 2 and 3. You might have minor injuries might happen in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, but the 4th might be something major. So it is safer if you just stop it. Could never tell what will happen in the 4th, 5th, or 6th. So the police responsibility there is to make sure everyone safe and secure, as Superintendent Samuel spoke about earlier.
I also think about the lewdness of shows. You have artists going up there and singing the most vile of songs, hyping up the crowd to behave in a, I would put it, nasty manner. This again too, that we have a responsibility if we figure that the show is getting out of hand in a lewd way, in a disrespectful way, that we have a responsibility to go to the promoter and say, listen, because I did it already. I know I was in charge of shows, security of shows, and there were, artists who were singing outrageous songs and behaving and cross walls and all these other things. So I went to the promoter and I said to him, listen, the artist is getting out of hand. You need to have some control of this artist. He said, okay. He went, he spoke to the artist. Well, that is what he told me. And like a half an hour after, same thing persists. And I went and I told him, this has to end, because we have persons who are misbehaving, starting pelting bottles and all these other things. And I said, that is the end of the show. If you're a promoter, you have to at least speak to the artist beforehand and say, listen, this is my business. I'm here to make a profit. If there's a profit you want to make, I want people to enjoy themselves. I do not want the police to come and stop the show because of your actions. And we go from there. Police there not to stop anybody from entering and enjoying themselves. We just don't want anybody to be harmed or hurt, and just want people to enjoy themselves. That's it.
Is there normally a briefing with promoters?
Yes. Once most of the officers, well, not most, all the officers, once they are securing a show or they're responsible for the security of the show, they will have a briefing with the promoters and say, these are the issues that may confront us, and these are the ways that we want them to be dealt with. And we go from there.
Okay. Another issue of safety, entrance and exits, sufficient to the numbers within the venue.
Well, sufficient. Sufficiency is dependent on the promoter. Most of the time, the promoter would have a show that you would have, as an example, 5,000 persons attending. But the promoter just wants 5 police officers to work, because the promoter is thinking about, and I'm not knocking the promoters, they're just thinking about the profit. So the fewer the police officers they have, the less money they have to pay out.
Right.
And so with me, when I'm working, I'm telling them security is paramount. You want your business to be successful. I want my duty to be successful in that nobody is harmed and we have a good function. Have people coming safe and they're leaving and going back home safe. So if you want the police to do a good job, you have to work with me to have a certain amount of officers that we could look at, amicably, to say sufficient amount of officers to cover the show. So we can't cover everywhere. You'll always find persons finding ways to get in, to jump over walls.
Some of these walls looking real impossible too, but you see them coming over.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Wow. I don't know what gets into the heads of some people. Now, in terms of the numbers of patrons, what if an event, okay, the promoter says we're catering for X amount of people, but come the night of the show, they sell the X amount of tickets, but then there are additional persons to come in. how do you control, okay, this venue is too packed, it is overcrowded? How do you control that? And perhaps do you cap it at a certain point?
Yes. If the venue we are looking at, again, I'm using my numbers, 5,000 persons, dependent on the location. You know, it can't go beyond 5,000 persons. Obviously, you'll have a conversation with the promoter and said, we are at maximum. We can't allow any, because that is a safety issue.
Mm.
All right. We could have persons with heat stroke. We have people being trampled.
Yeah.
If there's a bomb threat, how we're
Yeah.
going to deal with the situation.
It's
If there's a
stampede,
fire,
yeah.
how we're going
Yeah.
to deal with the situation. And so the police has just this amount of officers, and they have certain type of responsibilities. So then, beyond the 5,000 persons coming in the show, that you're putting the police in a uncomfortable position to look at other issues, all right? Because once you look at the figure that is coming in, you have to look at a ratio of officers to police
deal-
that show.
yeah, to police
Right.
that show.
Have you ever had an instance where you had to call for additional police officers at an event?
Not in my experience.
I never have that.
Never.
Never.
Okay, we got 4 more minutes, so we have to wrap up. I'm not sure if there's anything else that you wanted to touch on that we didn't speak about. Let me just check to make sure that I'm not. Good morning. If someone has a licensed firearm and forgot to walk with proof, you meet that person and they told you that they forgot to walk with their license, what happens then? Do you arrest the person, or what will happen?
Well, first of all, the person definitely should be walking with that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So then the police has a responsibility to take that weapon, keep it in their custody, and the person the next day, or as soon as practicable, bring the proof that they have that licensed firearm. They have that licensed firearm. Yeah.
During that time,
Yes.
couple of phone calls will be made to ascertain if the person is a licensed firearm holder.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you'll do your checks.
Yeah.
Because definitely it is against the law not for you to walk with it. You should be having it on your person at all time.
All time, yeah.
Right? Just like
What
like
does
the
it look like?
Driver's license.
Oh, it's a little card.
with a car.
Oh,
Yeah. So you need to walk with it. Again, if you don't have it with you, you give an explanation to the officer. The officer would keep it. The officer would take your ID card to ascertain, this is Crystal. Yes, Crystal, the same person I'm looking at. And you have this firearm. You should keep the firearm. And then as soon as practicable for you,
Necessary
you
checks.
get to the police officer and show that you're the licensed firearm.
okay. Somebody asked what IDs do under 18s have. Library ID cards. I'll answer that. What ID cards do people under 18 have? Library. A library card.
Yeah.
They don't have any ID cards.
Well, if they have a passport,
Passport.
that's a form of identification.
Or driver's license.
What are you speaking about? Licensed firearm holder?
No.
As in
They said
18?
ID cards. I don't know if it's
Okay.
what- I don't know. So I said library IDs because you don't have a national ID card. You don't have, well, the national ID card is a voter's card, but you don't have that. All right. So 2 more minutes. We got to wrap up. Final thoughts.
Well, our responsibilities as police officers is just to keep St. Vincent as safe as possible. We can't do it alone. We encourage persons to help as much as practicable. See something, we always hearing the saying, if you see something, say
Say
something.
something.
I don't know where we have this issue of following the outside wall and speaking about snitching. We need to keep St. Vincent safe. We have a small country. When you leave St. Vincent and you return, you realize how beautiful we are in this country. And we really need to keep it safe. Police officers have a responsibility to do our job as professional as possible. And we're going to put our best foot forward to ensure that St. Vincent is safe and we do our job as professional as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. But he said it all, but I would end it by saying, hope we have a safe and crime-free carnival in 2023, and even after the carnival, let it be crime-free.
Of course. And you guys would have your display in Kingstown coming closer to Carnival. No, you normally set up your your tents and
Yes,
so
yes.
on. So that's coming up in as part of the crime prevention
Yeah,
education.
criminal investigation department.
Right.
They deal with that.
Right, and your pamphlets for people before you leave home, when you
What to
leave
do
home,
and-
what to do, what not
all
to
the
do.
tips.
Yeah, plenty tips. It's a lot of things. I wonder if I could still find my package from last year.
You get a new one, don't worry.
Okay, awesome. Final quick question: if I'm too intoxicated, it's not anything to do with crime, but it's like Carnival shows. If I'm too intoxicated to drive back home, could I just like park up in front of the police station and take a nap there?
As long as you're not blocking the free flow of traffic.
Well,
You
if
should
you're
be able to find. Well, should not be driving.
If you're
should
intoxicated,
not be behind the wheel if you're intoxicated.
So I could come to you, it's like, could I just stay here for the night until?
Of course, of course.
If you know you're
Can you help? That's what I'm asking. Could you help me?
Of course.
if you are going to be intoxicated, I could have designated driver.
Designated driver knockout too.
Sad.
But you could help.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah, we'll help
Of
you.
course.
Oh, okay, awesome. Crime prevention exhibition, the 30th of June. 30th of June. That's the last day of June.
Right.
That's the date for it. And if women mischievously go and dance on a police officer, what happens then? I've seen it. You don't want to answer. It's okay if you don't want to answer. Is that an offense? I'm not
It's
sure.
not right, but it's a festive season. People do, but it's not right. I've seen it. The police will just stand there and then the person will just do and they'll just leave, but it's not right.
Is that right?
No, it's not right.
Ladies, control yourselves, okay? It's just back off or they back away.
Crystal, are you guilty of that?
Me? No, please. Me ain't so brave. I don't even want to do it to ordinary men, let alone police officers. All right. Oh, what a way to end. Thank you so much for joining us. All the very best for the entire season and beyond. And you guys take care.
Thank you, Crystal. Thanks for having us.
Not a
Thanks for
problem. Of
having
course.
me, yes.
Not a problem.
Yeah, thank
All
you
right.
again.
All right. Thank you so much.